take. But I don't think we have much else to add on here other than tying into the final article, which is what you're going to be covering here.
And
it's about Phil Spencer.
I'm going to try and get through this kind of quick.
Perfect lineup, dude.
Listen, everyone, I'm going to try and get this kind of quick. I know we're way over, right? So I can get this as quick as I can.
It is a cook.
This is a great bow at the end of this and a nice little kind of thought to leave everyone with as we finish the episode. So this is coming from Zach Swisen. Over at I'm sorry, Zach. I feel like I always troll his name every time I read it.
You do, man. You love his last name. It's not even like a troll. It's just I think it's appreciation for his name.
All right, yeah, it's coming from Zach over at Kotaku. You already know we're getting the best stuff, baby, over at Kotaku. But this is an interesting kind of thought article that I think a lot of people are seemingly agreeing with. So, title goes: "It's time to stop giving Xbox boss Phil Spencer a pass. Under his leadership, many have lost their jobs and fewer games have made it out the door." Let's read on, because there could be some truth to this.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's listen to him. What does he have to say?
So,
where's the evidence?
Let's see. On May 7th, Xbox announced that it was closing 3 studios, which we just mentioned. There's 4 studios. One's rolling into, ZeniMax. We already read it. This news is yet another example of Xbox, which has spent billions buying up studios, cutting costs, laying people off, and rearranging chairs on the good ship Xbox, which lately feels like it's drifting aimlessly. Now it's time to acknowledge that Xbox boss Phil Spencer is making bad decisions. Since the era of the Xbox One, Spencer has been the face of Xbox, consistently saying things that make his devout Xbox fans praise him and avoiding as much negative press as possible. He'll tout the merits of emulation and game preservation while acknowledging that Xbox could do more, but has no plans to. In November of 2021, when Activision found itself in hot water following a Wall Street Journal report claiming that CEO Bobby Kotick allegedly had knowledge of the toxic behavior of his company, Spencer was one of the biggest voices in the video game industry, speaking out against the Call of Duty publisher, saying, quote, "This type of behavior has no place in our industry," Spencer claimed in an email. An SEC filing revealed in 2022 that a few days after the Wall Street Journal story was published, Spencer called Kotick and started working on a deal to buy Activision. Of course, this is pretty common behavior for a powerful and rich executive who is part of a massive global corporation. But Spencer has been able to mostly avoid criticism, sharing stories of how he believes gaming should be for everyone while making decisions that directly contradict his claim. Oh,
okay.
You with me so far, Mike? Let's keep going.
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right, so a history of corporate contradictory. In October of 2020, shortly after Xbox announced its plans to consume Bethesda, Spencer told Kotaku this deal was not done to take games away from another player base, and added that Xbox wants more people to be able to play games, not fewer people to be able to play go play games. Yet in March of 2023, Redfall director Harvey Smith said that Microsoft stepped in after buying Bethesda and canceled a PS5 port of a vampire hunting co-op game. Starfield shipped only on Xbox and PS5 or Xbox and PC, and despite a few Xbox games like Grounded and Sea of Thieves jumping ship to PlayStation and Switch, future big titles like Indiana Jones won't be multi-platform. Xbox's boss has also talked a big game about giving developers the freedom to make what they want to make, explaining in May of 23 in an interview with Kinda Funny, when a team like Rare wants to do Sea of Thieves, when a team like Obsidian wants to do Grounded, when Tango wants to do Hi-Fi Rush, when everyone probably thought we were doing The Evil Within 3, I want to give the teams the creative platform to go and push their ability and push their aspirations. While Spencer may say wonderful things about creativity and letting his teams make what they want to make, the reality is that if those bets don't pay off, and even when they do, the teams are at risk of getting gutted and shut down, or shut down, all while Microsoft becomes one of the few companies in history to be worth $3 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
That's
fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
These are fair statements.
Are fair. But while Spencer was something of an industry darling for over a decade, it's become clear in the last 2 years or so that he isn't infallible and perhaps deserving of some scrutiny. Under his leadership at Xbox, thousands of people were laid off not long after the company spent billions of dollars to acquire Bethesda and Activision. Studios have been closed, games have been canned, DLC has been canceled, and Xbox's first-party output has continued to be feast and famine. In 2022, the company practically had nothing. In 2023, it had some stuff to show. This year, it's been quiet. Sure, its release schedule will, assuming nothing is delayed, pick up later with the release of Senua Saga and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, but after all the money spent on building Xbox's stable of studios and teams, after all of the cuts and layoffs, after all of the resources poured into growing the brand, Xbox has very little to show but poor console sales and a few cool games like Hi-Fi Rush, though not cool enough to spare the studio from being shut down.
Yep.
Oh,
Yo, okay. Can I get
it's unfortunate.
The devil's advocate?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I'm actually agreeing with a lot of this.
Yeah.
He does deserve scrutiny.
Yeah.
He has been a bit of an industry darling because he's been with Microsoft since like 2001, early Xbox days.
Yeah.
And he got to a leadership position in 2014, like at the head, upper management. He didn't really become the CEO of Xbox until 2022. Yeah. What happened in 2020 to 2022? A lot of turmoil in the world economy and society in general. Yeah, so I would give him a little bit of like slack on not having things released in 2022.
A little bit of grace. Okay.
A little bit of grace there, but because that for whatever reason is being mentioned right now. Things didn't really get back to normal until the end of 2022.
Yeah,
in terms of most world stuff. But these are very valid points. 100%.
Oh yeah.
What he's bringing up here.
Yeah, I mean, I think I unfortunately agree for the most part. Well, I say unfortunate, but it's just true. Like, I think he's very valid point so far. But yeah, we'll see. Let's continue on. We'll see if he talks about COVID and any of that stuff because I think it is relevant. So Spencer's been running Xbox for a decade. Since 2014, Spencer has been the main person at Xbox's helm. While his biggest supporters might want to blame the economy, PlayStation, or regulators, at the end of the day, he's making calls that aren't helping his staff or gamers. Sure, his Game Pass creation and the push to expand it have been rightfully applauded by many. It was a genuine sea change for the industry and did indeed bring more games to more people. But beyond that one big victory, the rest of Spencer's run at Xbox's top boss has been a series of layoffs, delays, apologies, poor sales, and mergers meant to feed Game Pass, but which instead have seemingly cost a lot of people their jobs. In 2023, amid 10,000 cuts at Microsoft, Spencer wrote an email to staff that he and the gaming team's leaders at the company had to make decisions that we felt set up for long-term success for our products and business. This involved cutting around 800 jobs from Xbox. In 2024, just months after closing its deal with Activision, Xbox cut 2,000 jobs. In another email to staff, Spencer said that he and other team leaders and Xbox and Activision had committed to aligning on a strategy and execution plan with a sustainable cost structure that will support the whole of our growing business. Yet, after years of making the best plans for Xbox, people are once again losing their jobs. 4 Xbox Bethesda studios are being shut down. I hope that this time, Spencer and the leadership at Xbox have found the right plan that will actually lead to growth, good games, and sustainability instead of more staff cuts and soaring profits for the company. And I hope moving forward, Xbox fans and the media hold Spencer more accountable for future mistakes, cuts, and failures. And that's the end of the article.
Okay, I mean,
I think there's.
How do you feel about it?
I think overall there's a lot of good points.
Yes.
I think to your point too. I think it's not to say like COVID undoes all this, but it's definitely a factor for everybody, right? In those couple of years. Yeah. So, and there's a lot of adjustment that need to happen, and I think too in general, I think COVID to a certain extent also just threw off projections because like when we saw the Xbox leaks back in September, and you see especially like ZeniMax's like slate and all that.
Oh yeah,
it was a lot of everything is way off or just not happening. It's like
that's like actually a really really good point. A lot of things that are coming out this year should have been coming out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of studios basically went on full scale halting.
Yeah.
Nothing was getting done because it's a worldwide economy with all these different studios going out. So you can have like a little bit of a discussion to have a devil's advocate kind of thing, saying maybe not everything was up to him, or the overlords at Microsoft came in and essentially said, "Oh, we got to do corporate spending or like cut corporate spending, get rid of studios, get rid of labor, all this kind of thing." And he might just be making the best of a terrible situation. But at the same time, sole responsibility rests with the CEO, and they should be held accountable. So this needs to be brought up, and that's why this is like a really good topic of discussion, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean I totally agree with you. I think like a lot of stuff, I think at the end of the day kind of comes top down.
Yes.
Especially about like business direction and kind of where you want to take things. I mean, there's certainly a lot of certainly a lot of critiques there. I think a lot of these points are valid. And it kind of makes me think I will say, Mike, just kind of all this Xbox stuff over the past week, I think it's certainly kind of tarnished my view of Xbox, and I hope they gain kind of back a lot of trust amongst the community. Because I mean, me like everyone else is kind of just like, dude, what are we doing at Xbox? And I think it's just a lot of kind of red flags and just like a lot of just uncertainty at this point. And it'll be interesting to see if they actually recover. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. The showcase, it's I don't know. I'm still gonna watch it. Obviously, the Xbox showcase, but it definitely isn't gonna hit as hard as it probably could have. Or there's probably gonna be less people looking to actually care about what's going on next.
Yeah, I bet this is a lot of timing now that you bring it up. Just get these out of the way early in the month.
Yeah.
People have short memories. They'll forget about it in a couple of weeks, and then everybody's going to be cheering for Xbox again and Phil Spencer the moment they see Gears of War's coming back, or like an old IP that we haven't seen in ages. So Phil can be like basically point out, hey, I'm bringing back an old IP. Look at this. We're bringing back Spyro or something, like who knows what it could be.
Yeah.
But
you're totally right. I think by the time Showcase comes around, a lot of people will be hyped again. So it's, it is what it is. But yeah, dude, it's
just annoying.
Yeah, it just has me worried for every Xbox studio now. it's like, oh man.
Yeah, I mean anybody's expendable in the eyes of Microsoft, the overlords of Microsoft.
Yeah.
So they don't see the right numbers. They don't see profit growth. Or growth and profit, you're on the chopping block.
Yeah,
and that's terrible.
And even if you do make a solid game, like, you ain't safe. You know what I'm saying? It's wild.
And no, you ain't safe. It ain't safe.
It ain't safe. It ain't safe.
Who is that? G-Eazy?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
it's
one of those songs.
G-Eazy, I haven't heard his stuff in a long time, dude. Holy crap.
I know.
Oh man.